What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? We're out here today talking some Arizona Cardinals. How's everybody doing today on this beautiful Friday evening? We are, 48 hours away? We're actually less than 48 hours away from kickoff from the Arizona Cardinals playing against the Carolina Panthers. So I'm very excited about it, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope that I don't have a whole, coughing attack like I had on my last live stream. As you all probably know already, I was kind of feeling under the weather the past week, but I'm slowly getting back to 100%. I got my water right here just in case something does happen to my voice. So we're going to go ahead and keep chugging along. We're going to be doing about an hour stream today. I want to talk everything Arizona Cardinals, right? I want to talk what the heck is wrong with the Arizona Cardinals. I want to show you guys what LeSean McCoy said. I want to show you guys what I read on a Washington Post article. I want to hear like your guys' opinion, and I want to let you guys know what my take is in this whole situation of what's wrong with the Arizona Cardinals, right? We ended off last year, obviously not in a good note, but we ended off last year with a 11-win season. And right now, the Arizona Cardinals are coming into the season looking absolutely mediocre, absolutely with a lot more questions for Cardinal fans, really kind of scratching their heads saying, what the heck is going on with my team? So that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to talk everything Arizona Cardinals. If you guys haven't yet already, please do this right now. Even if you're here live or if you're watching this on a playback, smack the like button on this video. It helps the channel grow out tremendously. It also helps out the algorithm. Let other Cardinal fans know out there that this channel exists. We're on the road to 10K and I can't do it without you guys. Definitely smack it up. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Before we do, actually, let me give some quick shout outs here to people in the chat. Now, I am thinking about opening up the phone lines, maybe the last 5-10 minutes, just depending on how much, time we have left after this conversation. If you guys do want to super chat, that's the best way to ask any questions. Just FYI, super chat helps out the channel grow tremendously and it makes, beautiful colors within the chat as well. So just FYI. All right, let's go and dive right into it here. Some quick shout outs. We got Rams House. What's up? We got Michael. We got Nicholas. We got Thomas, Lennon in the house, the same damn bub. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody for coming through. And then Kenny, I see you up there. Gina, I see you up there as well. So let's get started. Now, I think one of the latest videos that I ended up releasing on my channel was a video that's pertained to Kyler Murray and LeSean McCoy. LeSean McCoy came out on a podcast called I Am Athlete, and he pretty much let Kyler Murray have a new one. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. Now, I was reading some comments on the video that I posted, and a lot of people, didn't really care, or a lot of people were saying he's wrong, F him, blah, 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 right? All those different situations to back up our quarterback. Now, I don't agree in anything that LeSean McCoy said. I really don't. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I do believe that this should be, I guess, known to you guys because this is the narrative that's coming on from Arizona Cardinals, right? The big national media out there, right? We've wanted his attention. A lot of Arizona Cardinal fans were like, how come we don't get talked about? But now we are. But it's almost like in a different light. It almost kind of seems like the Arizona Cardinals are the punching bags of the NFC West, the punching bags of the NFL. And I'm not really happy with it, but obviously the whole narrative needs to be changed by the play of the Arizona Cardinals. And so far in this 3 games that we've had, we never really had a chance to kind of see, I guess, a glimmer of hope. Now, granted, yes, it is the beginning of the season. We still got a lot of football left, but the biggest thing, obviously, is to start off hot. And Cliff Kingsbury, as of right now, has not yet 100% figured out how to start hot. So let's listen into what LeSean McCoy had to say. I do actually have the audio right here. I'm going to go ahead and pause or mute myself. So let me know if you guys can hear it. So I was able to track down the audio from LeSean McCoy's podcast talking about Kyler Murray. And if you are very sensitive, you might want to skip this. It's about 1.5 minutes, but I'm going to play it all the way through so you guys are fully aware of exactly what LeSean McCoy said about your quarterback and my quarterback, Mr. Kyler Murray. So let's take a look.
You know how we talk about Kyler Murray? It's like he's streaming, should he be studying, doing that? That's who Ayton is. He's trash. Ayton, no, but Ayton played his role. You're like Ayton. No, I'm saying you just example, and I'm saying that the player you use is trash. Kyler Murray, trash. Wow. Overrated. He played like high school player. runs around. I think he's overhyped. Runs backwards. He does a circle, the ballerina circle, then goes left, goes right, turns all the way around again, then looks for a wide receiver. He's trash. That's how you play quarterback.
Disgusting.
So he ain't Mahomes. And let me tell you about Mahomes real quick. Majority of Mahomes' passes are timing, right? Third step hit, boom, balls out. Fifth step hit, boom, balls out. Now, sometimes he goes off script because we all can do that. So I'm running to the left sometimes, running to the right sometimes, but then I might stop and cut back. I go off script. Not every pass. Every pass is holding the ball. Let's make a miracle. Just watch the guy. Every game he's played, watch him play. It's really embarrassing, to be honest. Like, who's coaching this kid? Down when they say, we want to sign you a big contract for $100 million, but you got to watch certain film. Now it makes sense. I see why. Because he ain't reading no coverages. When a quarterback, look, to all you listeners out there, when a quarterback is running around like that all day, all night, all game, that's because he's not reading any coverages. That's facts. And you know that, Brandon. Marshall, the beast.
So that was the audio clip that I was able to find from LeSean McCoy, and I apologize. I probably should have put it in front of my microphone because that's how a microphone works, right? I'm sorry about that, but I think you guys pretty much got the gist of it, right? I think they were starting to talk about DeAndre Ayton, the Suns player. I think I didn't hear the full podcast. I was just able to listen to that clip, and then LeSean McCoy pretty much just let Kyler Murray have it. Like, he was calling him trash. He was saying that he can't read coverages. He was saying that he plays like a high school football player, and that he just doesn't seem to be the guy that should have gotten paid $200 million. And it sucks, right? It absolutely does suck as an Arizona Cardinal fan, being that, hey, like, we're going through the ringer, right? We absolutely are. Like, we're a 1-2 team, but we could have easily been an 0-3 team. Now, I think there would have been a lot more heat, a lot more questions going into, the whole Cliff Kingsbury and, Steve Keim if we were 0-3. Thankfully, Kyler Murray ended up pulling off a huge miracle, in week 2 versus the Raiders, and we ended up winning in overtime. But this is what we kind of have to get used to, right? And it sucks. It absolutely does suck. Now there was some points that I was kind of, agreeing with them. Not the trash to Kyler. I don't believe Kyler Murray's trash. I really don't. I love Kyler Murray. I know what I believe in what he can become. I don't think he's a finished product. I really don't, but I do think he's got the intangibles. I do think he's got the traits, right? Maybe not physical traits, because obviously he's not 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" quarterback, but he is an elusive quarterback that can get very, very magical with his legs. And he's got some throwing power on his arm as well. So I believe in what Kyler Murray can do. One thing that I do agree with LeSean McCoy is who's coaching him up, right? Because one thing that I've talked about Kyler Murray is that, yeah, there's still some frustrations coming from Cardinal fans, including myself, saying, like, why is Kyler still making these mistakes, right? Like, there's still some little things here and there that he makes mistakes from. And you would think and you would hope, year 4 would be a little bit different, a little bit more polished. But I do believe my standards and a lot of, all the Cardinal fan standards might be a little too high. Maybe that might be the possibility, but it's crazy. It really is. Like, the whole 3rd and 2, we shouldn't be throwing the ball deep. Like, that's just the way that it is. We shouldn't be throwing the ball deep. We should be living to go through the motions. We should be able to get that ball and get the first down. Like, that should be number 1 priority. And I don't think that's what Kyler Murray is quite seeing, or things have worked out very well for him before, that he expects these wide receivers to do what they did in college. But the NFL is just a different game. So I wanted to kind of let you guys know and let you hear the clip of LeSean McCoy, because, yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way. It did. It's frustrating to the point where it's like, well, this is what the national media is now looking at the Arizona Cardinals, right? Not just the Cardinals, but Kyler Murray. And that comes with your quarterback getting paid a huge deal. So this is kind of the backlash that the Arizona Cardinals kind of have to endure, and it sucks. But in the grand scheme of things, the only person that can really fix this is Mr. Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. So we'll have to kind of wait to see how it all shakes out. Now, granted, we have a huge game. I want to preface this here real quick, because I noticed that in this game versus the Panthers, I said this is a must-win game, right? And I think a lot of people kind of got a little offended when I said this is a must-win game. Now, keep in mind that every week I'm talking every week's a must-win game. A must-win game. I'm sorry. So if you're only like watching me like once or twice, like every other week, then you don't get the full details of terms of like what I'm trying to say. But every week is a must win. Now, granted, the Arizona Cardinals are 1-2. They don't want to go down 1-3. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you got a team on the opposite side that doesn't want to be 1-3 either. Especially Matt Rule. He's definitely going to be on the hot seat. If whoever's going to be going down 1-3 is going to be in the hot seat in my mind. Now, granted, yes, Cliff Kingsbury has an extension, and it might be a little harder to get rid of him. But man, it's hard to try to convince Arizona Cardinal fans that Cliff Kingsbury can figure it out when then this has been happening since 2021. Right? It's not like it's a brand new thing happening, and it's not because it's DeAndre Hopkins missing. This is a bigger issue that we're dealing with. It really is. One other thing that I want to also let you guys know about as well, getting off of the LeSean McCoy thing. Yes, I know it frustrated me too, but I wanted to make sure that you guys are fully aware and heard what he actually said pertaining to Kyler Murray. Now, one other thing that I also wanted to talk about was that I was able to dig down a Washington Post article, because obviously when things don't go well for the Arizona Cardinals, or any team, there's a lot of, storylines. There's a lot of things that comes up for that team. And unfortunately, the Arizona Cardinals are that team right now that is struggling. So I ended up seeing this article that I believe it was from yesterday. And here was the title. The title says the Cardinals double down on Cliff and Kyler show, and it isn't working. So that automatically got me to click, right? Pretty easy to go ahead and click on something like that, because it's easy, right? You want to hear somebody's opinion. You want to hear somebody able to tell you what exactly is wrong with this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, it's funny because I say a lot of things that a lot of these big national media are saying, but because I don't have that big platform quite yet, a lot of people aren't quite listening in terms of like what I'm saying. But a lot of stuff that you read in this article is pretty much what I'm saying. I want to read you guys a screenshot in terms of something that I ended up picking up here myself. This screenshot right here. Now, let me take down this logo here real quick, just so you're getting the full gists of what this screenshot says. Now, this article is actually pretty nice, so I recommend you actually reading it, but I wanted to take a screenshot of this so we can read it together. So this is the part that I wanted to go ahead and focus on. It says, quotations. This is a person that apparently works in the NFL, not for the Arizona Cardinals, but somebody that works within the scouts that I guess maybe seen the way the Arizona Cardinals work. So take this the way that you want, but it says there is arrogance to their scheme on both sides of the ball, said one scout who has watched the Cardinals closely but is not permitted to speak about them by his employer. And here's another quotations. It's like they just say, we're going to do what we plan to do, no matter what, but it's not working, said a high-ranking official from an NFL club under similar restrictions about speaking publicly about our organization. We are shocked that they extended the coach. It's not a sophisticated scheme. He's not considered a great play caller. Every year the production drops as the season goes on. So that's from the Washington Post. And that's the narrative that we're hearing from a lot of national people out there. And it sucks. Although we know about it, right? We know about our dirty laundry, right? We know about it. It just sucks that now that things aren't going the best way for the Arizona Cardinals, now all the people know about our dirty laundry. But we known this. We known this. One thing that really stuck out to me was that very first sentence. There is an arrogance to their scheme on both sides of the ball. It's like they just say, we're going to do what we plan no matter what. That's what really stuck out to me. That's what really stuck out to me right there. And it's frustrating to see. It is, because one thing that we've been crying and clamoring about for the longest time is, why isn't Cliff Kingsbury adjusting? Whatever he's doing isn't working. Why isn't he doing it? And now that we got these national media people talking about it, I'm hoping that we can finally get to a level of Cliff Kingsbury light bulb coming off, right? And hopefully he can change what he does. But as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals are trying to do exactly what they did since Cliff Kingsbury has been here. And I do think that they've been found out. And I don't think Cliff Kingsbury knows any other difference. I don't think he does. I think the guru-ness of Cliff Kingsbury comes from obviously a lot of play action, right? The 3 wide receiver set, play action type of stuff, RPOs. That's what Cliff Kingsbury brings to this organization. But I do think in the grand scheme of things, it needs to be changed. Something needs to give. Because this offense ain't it. It ain't it. We've had so many slow starts, and we can't keep using the same excuse. I got to look at the film. No, we can't. We know the problem as Arizona Cardinal fans. We've been chattering and clamoring about it for quite some time. We can't no longer. We know what's the issue. We do. Something needs to be changed. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. So I wanted to let you guys know about, that article, that thing I wanted to highlight saying that they're too stubborn. I agree. I do agree. I think that there's a sense of arrogance. That's the word. Sorry. I think there's a sense of arrogance from Steve Keim. There's a sense of arrogance from Cliff Kingsbury saying that I'm going to do it my way. No matter what you say. No matter. It doesn't matter to them. And one thing that I want to talk about is because obviously the question has been brought up with the whole situation of Cliff Kingsbury. Do you think you need to get an offensive coordinator? He said, no, I was brought here to play calls or do play calling. If they're going to take that away from me, then I'm going to retire, Cliff Kingsbury said. Maybe we should bring that offensive coordinator so he can retire. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's a sense of arrogance within our organization and nothing is giving. Nothing is being worked out between anybody. Defensive coordinator's got his own thing going on. The head coach got his own thing going on. Steve Keim gets these players, but nothing's being utilized because it's not within the plan of Vance Joseph. It's not within the plan of Cliff Kingsbury. So it's frustrating, right? It is frustrating to see as an Arizona Cardinal fan. It is. Now, it could still be fixed. We still got time. We do. I don't think it's SOS right now, but after this Panthers game, which is week 4, week 5, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a team that looks like they got it together. That's a team that looks like I don't want to get in their way. I don't. I really don't. So it's an important game. This game versus the Panthers is a very important game, but every game in the schedule is important. This is just the next one. But in my mind, this is a must win because we don't want to get dropped down to 1-3 because more questions will be asked. More questions will be talked about from this organization. One other example I want to give you guys here real quick. is going to be the press conference from last week from Cliff Kingsbury. This is the last example, I promise. This is the last example that I'm going to get to the comments to hear what you guys have to say. Last thing I want to tell you guys, if you guys want to ask a question or anything like that, or there's an option for you to super chat, helps the channel grow out tremendously. That makes a nice, beautiful color. If you want to do that, ask your question, definitely do so, super chat. But I want to also show you guys this part before I take it to the comments. This is a clip from the press conference from Cliff Kingsbury after the loss to the Rams. And this is going to coincide to my whole situation of Cliff Kingsbury stubborn. He doesn't want to change what he does. This is why I'm showing you guys this, essentially. So let me share my screen here real quick. Let's extend this, and I'm going to play this clip for you.
small, but they block a lot, screenplays and that. Have you thought about changing up the scheme to ditch some of that stuff to maximize what they do well?
So don't ask him to block.
Screenplays if you got a 5'4" wide receiver standing out there trying to block a safety.
Yeah, I mean, he should have outside released that. So I got it. But yeah, we're gonna continue to just ask them to do their job. Yeah.
Have you considered asking them to do different jobs?
Yeah, I mean, we ask them to run routes and block. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Just that's all I wanted to show you guys right there. Just the level of, we're gonna do it my way, regardless, right? We heard it. We've heard it before. We want to put these players in the best success, the best ability to succeed. Now, granted, whoever that media guy was, shout out to him for asking that question, because I thought it was a very valid question. Now, obviously, it pissed off Cliff Kingsbury. It pissed him off, you can tell. But the question was basically along the lines of, you got small wide receivers right now. Why are we asking them to block in screenplays? Are we doing something to change it up? And Cliff Kingsbury said, no, well, we're going to continue to do what we do, regardless of who we have on the field. Regardless. It doesn't matter. Because this is what the wide receivers should have done. And then it would have worked. What he's saying, essentially. So the stubbornness that's coming out of, or the arrogance, however you want to call it, right? Making sure that he's staying true to his game book or his game plan and, his plays that he ends up having. I personally don't think that it's a smart idea to do that. I don't. Now, granted, if it was working, then yeah, I would be all gung-ho for it, right? I would be. I would be telling you, yes, this is a great job, Cliff Kingsbury. Whatever you're doing is working. But that's kind of one of those whole situations that I'm talking about where it all coincides with, is this working or is it not working? Winning doesn't bring the questions out. Losing has multiple questions that pop up because it's kind of deserved at this point. If it ain't working, why are we still doing it? If it ain't working, why are we still doing it? Especially because we have the smaller wide receivers. Now, granted, they're not 5'4", right? Obviously, that media guy got a little, he got a little abrasive there when calling him 5'4". But still, if you're asking him to cover a safety, which is probably 6 foot, maybe depending on the safety, depending on the cornerback, man, they can be tall people. Yeah, it's a tough ask. It is. Or if the wide receivers aren't doing it correctly, then why wasn't the coaching done? You know what I mean? Or why aren't these wide receivers learning? So it's just a lot of questions. It's a lot of questions that we kind of have out there where, LeSean McCoy's coming out here saying Kyler's trash, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I guess I respect the opinion of a guy who did very well and had a very good NFL career. I respect it. But I also don't agree with blaming this all on Kyler and calling him trash. If you were to say that this offense is trash, cool. Okay, I agree. Kyler himself, no, I don't agree with that. I think Kyler can become the dude. He can. It's just right now I feel like we're kind of stuck because Michael Bidwill, right? Michael Bidwill jumped the gun. In that Washington Post, article that I was telling you earlier was saying pretty much that Michael Bidwill jumped the gun for some reason, ended up extending Keim, ended up extending, Cliff Kingsbury. He extended Kyler as well, which obviously we're all happy about. We don't have to worry about, is he going to sit? Is he not going to sit? Was he not going to report? That was all shut down once Kyler got paid. We need to figure out what the heck is happening. Now, one thing because something about me is I like to listen to some things maybe that other people don't really look into very much. And one thing that I want to bring up is, I'm not sure if you guys remember the press conference when Kyler Murray ended up getting the extension. There was that whole conversation with Keim and, not conversation, but Keim and Kyler Murray were on the podium and the media was asking him questions, blah, 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 blah. One thing that was asked was, why wasn't there a no contract, or why wasn't there a no trade clause on the contract? That was the question. And it didn't seem like a big deal, right? I mean, a very common question, I guess, especially if you're trying to lock up a superstar. For the most part, no more times than not, there would be a no trade clause. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes. And just the way that it was answered was just so weird. It was just so weird. Obviously, Steve Keim doesn't talk about anything negotiations, which is cool. I respect it. But then Kyler Murray comes down and starts giggling and stuff like that. He was like, oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. Just weird. Just really weird. It doesn't give me much hope as an Arizona Cardinal fan. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Let's take it to the comments now. Let's take it to the comments. I did a lot of talking here. I did a lot of talking. My conclusion of this Arizona Cardinal team, I'll tell you right now. 1 second. Obviously, still feeling under the weather. Can't speak very long without choking up, obviously. So, this Arizona Cardinal team, I was expecting more. I really was. I'm not going to blame this on the injuries, though. I can't blame this on the injuries. I can't. There's something in me that I don't even believe this is an injury issue. Cliff Kingsbury would say it will be, right? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is at all. I think there's something deeper. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's just so weird how we're just not gelling. Is it practice? Is it? I don't know. Are the players just not putting in the best, positions to succeed? Probably. Dang. Guess it took a while before I had a choking attack. Let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. It'll give me a chance to not speak very much. So let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say. We got about 60 people in here right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What's wrong with the Arizona Cardinals? What is wrong with the Arizona Cardinals? I'm putting up the link right there. I'm pinning the link as well. So if you guys want to jump on and let me know your take on what you feel is wrong with the Arizona Cardinals, let me know. The link is pinned. And it's going to give me an opportunity to rest my voice because honestly, I'm having a cough attack right now and it's probably not the best. So the link has been pinned. If you have anything that's different, or maybe if you want to kind of reinforce what I was talking about, let me know. Like I said, it gives me a chance to rest my voice. So let's do this. The link has been pinned. Come on through and let me know what you guys have to say. We got Jesus up here. He says Carolina 40, Arizona 0. That's funny. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. We'll see. All right, Chris, I see you right there. Chris, I'm going to let you in first. Chris, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. What's up, man? Talk to me. How are you feeling?
The problem is Cliff Kingsbury. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay. Anything else to let my voice rest?
I mean, I don't really have anything. That's kind of just the simplest form of it. So, yeah.
Well, I guess my question to you would be, like, why Cliff Kingsbury? Play calling? Do you think he's just not adjusting? Like, what exactly do you think?
Honestly, most of what's really giving me the idea, aside from everything you've said, is everything I've heard on Locked On Cardinals as well. That guy basically sounds like you if you worked for a network of some kind. Yeah, like all wanting to just say say things how they are, get people's opinions. The only difference is he doesn't do any kind of shows like this where people can come in and talk on the stream.
Gotcha.
They just talk in chat if there is chat to talk in.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I agree. I do think Cliff is the issue. Do you think, let me ask you this real quick before I let you go. Do you think if this does go sideways, there is a chance that he can get fired? I understand 5-year extension. I get it. But do you
honestly, like, It would take a lot for me to root against my own team, but this week might be one of those times because the Panthers are the fact that they have our number is the only reason that losing to them wouldn't like set Cliff's seat on fire or like drop it in an active volcano. It would be so hot.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna look at my guy Soul Pancakes up in here right now. I appreciate you for coming through. Later, dude.
Yep.
Okay, Soul. Hopefully you got some talking, man, because I'm gonna give you the table here. Soul, what's up, dude? Talk to me, man. How you feeling? And let me know what's going on.
Well, after I read that article, that guy that asked that question about the wide receiver screens, I was like, everybody has their iterations of the screens, and like that's just part of like that's an extension of the run game. So I was like, you missed a golden opportunity, which really kind of pissed me off about him because I was like, you read the Washington Post article, obviously. Like, I mean, you talked about it just earlier. I was like, those were the questions to ask him like directly. It's like, hey, what's going on with no motion? What's going on with still running the offense from the shotgun? What's going on with like not even using the boot action or play action or anything? We're ranked 29th in the play action usage, or ranked 31st with motion, and they were ranked like they were number one in shotgun usage. And I'm like, this offense looks the same. It's been looking the same. So like that's one thing that like it just pissed me off. That was a golden opportunity. But other than that, like there's a lot of factors that are factoring in and stuff. But my take is like he needs to go because I think the whole coaching staff needs to go. They need a clean house. There's only like 2 or 3 people I would like to keep. The whole thing that they're doing with Isaiah Simmons, that's really pissing me off. The whole narrative trying to say that he's playing well when he's barely even being used, and having these garbage ass veterans that can't even stop the run. I mean, against Carolina, man, we've been getting our asses. We've been getting our butts beat, 30 plus points, 150 yards every running back. I mean, it doesn't matter if TMC gets out there because they can't put another running back there. Like they just run the ball down our throat. Nothing is addressed to change it. That doesn't give our offense a chance because they can't get back on the field. And on the offensive side, they like to attack by, I don't know, Kyler averaged 4 yards a pass. So I'm like, they try to attack him horizontally instead of like vertically. So those are the 2 issues that are just like plaguing like this year in general. I thought it was going to change. Nothing has changed. So this coaching staff, all of them need to go.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother. Have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you so much. Oh, dang. Thank you, Soul. I appreciate you. All right, let me get my guy Alex up here right now. Alex, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, brother? Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, and hopefully you're feeling good yourself. I feel like we're beating a dead horse on this. We know what the issue is. It's our front office. Everyone, top to bottom. There's lack of urgency. There's no care. No one doesn't seem to care. And when your leaders and when your coaches and your staff just don't seem to care or make take any initiation to change up schemes, it reflects bad on the players, which is why McCoy is going off on Kyler. We were doomed from the start right when they announced that they extended Kyman Kingsbury. And you know me, dude, I'm on your Twitter feed sitting off memes and all that, telling everyone point blank, this is a bad fit. We need someone better. We need someone with leadership. Same thing with our players. We need some strong veteran leadership, which is why I'm surprised we haven't gotten like Adama Kinsu or Rhodes. Oh, I'm sorry, not Rhodes. He went to Buffalo. But literally, we need someone to help get these guys back in the saddle. And I think J.J. Watt needs to do one of those inspiring, motivational press conferences like what he did with the Texans. We need stronger leadership, and it needs to start now. Otherwise, yeah, this season's going to be a wash.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you're saying for sure. And let me ask you this question: do you see a world where we do let go of Cliff Kingsbury if it goes south? And I mean like 3 or 4 wins south.
Bro, if they ever do, I'd be celebrating like we won a Super Bowl. I'm like, finally, ding dong, the dude is gone. I will be celebrating so bad. It irritates me that it's gotten to this point, and unfortunately, I don't foresee Kingsbury going anytime soon. I mean, unless we're absolutely tanking these next couple games, which honestly at this point wouldn't surprise me. If anything, we need we still don't have an offensive coordinator. I mean, that would potentially help someone that could provide provide better schemes than what Kingsbury's doing. I mean, that could certainly help. But really, I don't really see this going anywhere. And you know how Bidwell is; he's very stubborn in his ways. He wants to keep the mediocrity that is the Keim and Kingsbury era.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree. I do think something needs to be changed for sure. The whole offensive coordinator, I think that's what we were hoping for the year 3, and it just never happened at all. We're sitting in year 4, and we still didn't get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
All
You
right, man.
said it best. You said it best, man. This we need. It's like he needs to change these schemes, and it's got to happen now.
I agree. All right, brother, man. Thank you so very much, man. Later, dude. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's keep it going. Let's get Lennon Wolf a little bit here. Lennon Wolf, you're live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, man? Talk to me. How you feeling?
The reason why that the Arizona Cardinals are 1-2, it's because we suck at home. And I agree with what Alex said, our front office too. But I wouldn't say Kyler Murray. I wouldn't say it's on Kyler Murray. I would say it's on Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim because, like, I don't know, man, but, like, we need to change something. We're in year 4, and we're playing against the Panthers, and they always had our number, and I'm glad that we're on the road because we're better on the road than we are at home. But we played against the world champs. It was a tough game. I was at the game. I saw multiple empty seats at the game, which is...
Yeah, I do think that the Cardinal fans are trying to say something right now. All right, Lennon, I'm gonna let you go, man. Okay, have a great day, brother. I do agree with the whole situation but I don't like the excuse of like the Super Bowl champ because the Rams aren't playing like the Rams. Like they aren't. Like I'm not sure if you saw against us, they probably did, but against the other teams, I mean, they don't look that great. It's funny for me to say that, right? Oh, you're an Arizona Cardinal fan, you guys suck. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it, but I do think that like the Rams aren't it. Like they aren't, and we love to use that excuse. We do, just because nothing goes our way. Let me get to Luis here real quick. Luis, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Well, first of all, I agree with everybody that's saying that. I do believe Cliff and Keim got to go. I mean, at first I was all about Cliff. I really was. And Keim, I don't know. I never really liked his draft picks from the get. But anyways, I think it's kind of ridiculous that if they're scripting plays right off the beginning of the game, I don't know if that is true, but like that never helps anybody. Like, how can you script a game in the first when you first get the ball? Like that makes no sense to me. And another thing is, I know people love JJ Watt. I love JJ Watt. Don't get me wrong. Like, but did we not learn that this guy is injury prone? Like, did we not learn that from watching with the Texans? I mean, I know what he brings to the defense. I know that. But, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm just kind of tired of seeing us, like, not, like D-Hop was a great steal, I'm not going to lie. But, like, get some more players or get better draft picks. I hate having to see kind of like you said, oh, he's still on the board. Oh, wow, this guy's like, bro, who is he? Like, who is he?
You're going to keep hearing it as long as he's still there. But you're right. I do want him to draft those players while they're young and hungry and have the eye of the tiger, as opposed to 2 or 3 years left in their career and they're just kind of breaking apart. It's what we do. And we fall in love with the big names. And I think that's the frustrating part.
And it's so frustrating. And like me and my wife are just like, we're diehard fans. And like, I feel like we don't have a strong Arizona fan base. And not having a good winning season or not having good seasons is not going to allow us or that fan base to grow. Yeah. And I'm tired of going to these games because me and my wife are planning to go to the Philly game. Yeah. And I bet you anything, we're going to see some empty seats. And I'm tired of seeing that. Like, yeah. I really am. Like, whatever we got to do, like, whatever we have to do, we need to do something, at least with the coaching. Yeah. And if he doesn't have a coordinator, I think that's just silly. And it just proves that he is stubborn or he is in his own ways of running running his offense. I mean, you need to have a second set of eyes, at least in the NFL. You have to have that, and that's just opinion. But
No, you're right. And I'm glad, obviously, right? I mean, when we do get a chance to go to the games, we expect us to have home field advantage. But like, check this out. Like the last 7 games here at home, the Cardinals have not won. Like, how embarrassing is that? As an organization, I would think that like this team, or I guess the Cardinals in general, would want to be like, hey, let's break that, right? Let's do what the Ravens do. They have a 21-22 game winning streak in the preseason because it means a lot to them. To us, we don't. It seems like they don't care about winning at home. It's weird.
Exactly, and there's no respect. There's no fear coming into our own home, and they're gonna kick our ass in our own home. Yeah. There's no fear. There's no respect there for us. There, the only thing, we're road warriors. We're road warriors. But I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But I want to be feared at home too. You know, like. Yeah. But it's really is embarrassing having to take these L's, and I'm just like you. I am so frustrated. Me and wife are just like, we can do so much better.
Yeah.
There's so much potential there. But like, we're always being exposed. It doesn't matter how well we get. It's just somehow or another something else pops up, or I don't know. These injuries are definitely you're right. There's no excuse. There's no excuse because we're loaded. We were loaded as far as like everybody was healthy on the receiving core, but now like we're seeing that dwindle. And like, I'm sorry, whoever like AJ Green, I mean, that guy is just becoming more and more of a liability.
Yeah.
I just can't stand that dude. I'm sorry, but
no, yeah, I mean, you got all the right to say, to feel what you feel. We're all, as you know, we're all kind of one family. We're all feeling the same thing. We're feeling frustrated. We thought that we're coming off an 11 win season. We thought we would be able to translate, and it's just something's off. Like there's something like that. Nobody wants to talk about it, but something is off with this organization and how the way they're doing things. And it's weird that nobody wants to talk about it more. And I hope one day I can get this platform to the level of where I want to get it to. And TBD, it's probably gonna get there, but
you will, bro, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll absolutely see what happens. But I appreciate you, Luis. Thank you so very much for being on here, man. Thank you.
You too, bro.
Yeah. And that's it sucks, right? Because it's a different feeling as Arizona Cardinal fans living here in Phoenix. It is. We see firsthand what it looks like, and we have a lot of passionate fans. We do. But when things don't go our way, it goes down. But I'm not sitting here and saying waste your hard-earned money on tickets when the Cardinals aren't going to win. No, I'm not saying that. But I do believe that there needs to be something as Cardinal fans sticking together, Cardinal fans speaking one language, speaking one drive, speaking one word to see if we can make a difference. And I get it, right? When you look into the eyes of small people compared to billion-dollar corporations, I get it. It seems hard, but nothing in life is easy, right? Nothing in life is easy. And I do believe that if we definitely did something, maybe it can make some sort of a difference. But let me get to my guy, Jordan here. Jordan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Good, man. Well, not so great since the last game, but man, I got a lot of thoughts on this team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Go ahead, you're good.
So, man, I don't even know where to begin. So, I just remember when we were really good in 2015, and we got manhandled by the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton, and I can't remember if it was after that season or the season after that Steve Keim got caught with a DUI. But I thought back then that he should have been fired, honestly.
True.
Yeah. I'm pretty tired of seeing him. He kind of looks like Thanos, and dude, I'm sick of it. Yeah. I'm so tired of this team being mediocre, and it's just it's so frustrating to me. I think Bruce Arians, going to Tampa Bay was a slap in the face to us because, I feel like he just knew. He knew something was up with our team, and he knew it was just not going to be good. And so he just took the chance and left.
Yeah.
Well, he could.
I agree. What do you think is like? Obviously, on this stream, I'm talking. There must be something deeper. Do you think that, or do you think that you're just not gelling, or like what do you think is happening? And I'm talking about more on the offense. I know defense has their own issues. Vance Joseph probably is going to be the scapegoat. Let's be honest. If this goes really bad, he's going to be the first to go because that's just the way the Cardinals, they want to pick one scapegoat, and it's probably going to be Vance. But what do you think is happening with this offense?
Definitely Cliff, man.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't think he is a very good coach. I didn't really have confidence in him from the very get-go. Coming off of a losing, record in college, I don't think that's really smart to hire someone like that. I don't know, man. It's just super frustrating. I did have hope, especially last season, man, but after watching, I think it was the Lions game, it was hard to even watch them after that
Yeah.
because it's so frustrating to just see this team collapse every season, and even when they're good, it's just like something happens, you know?
Yeah. It's when things don't go right, it's all a domino effect. That's what it feels like. Because I see
Mhm.
my guy Humble Rumble in the comments saying drop passes didn't help. Yeah, I agree with that too. It almost kind of seemed like it's just like, well, what are we doing? Like, why are we dropping so many passes?
Exactly.
It's crazy. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so very
Yeah.
much for being Hunter. Cool shirt.
Thanks for having me, man.
Later, brother. All right, let me get my guy Mark Jackson up in here right now. I know we've had Mark Jackson on here a few different times, and we've talked about Kyler, leadership, all that different stuff. So I'm curious to figure out his take now that we're going into week 4 versus the Panthers. Mark, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. What's the man? Talk to me.
Hey man, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Try not to have a choking attack or coughing attack.
All right, I'll talk for a little while then. You know me. I've always said it from day one to now. We should have never hired Cliff at all. Kime should have been fired about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something along those lines. I didn't want Kyler in the first place, but he's kind of growing on me, so I'm all right with him now. But I think he's getting the leadership. He's learning it, and he's actually getting the guys in the locker room to rally around him, I think. But, I mean, he's growing. He's a young kid. So there you go. But my opinion is if we don't even, break 500 or better or whatever, well, it's an odd amount. So if we don't get that winning record, we get the losing record. Cliff's got to go. Kime's got to go. That's my opinion. I mean, I'm done. I mean, seriously, I'm done. I was all in last season until the end, and then I'm like, oh God, give me my chips back. Give me my chips back.
True.
And then, of course, this year starting off, it's just been bad. It's been not good in any way, shape, or form. So I'm done.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, Mark, I appreciate you for coming through. I'm going to get my guy Jordan P up in here right now. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, later, man.
All right, Jordan P, you're live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. I know they don't give you my final thoughts to everybody, but talk to me. How you feeling, man?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, first I just wanted to address the LeSean McCoy thing because it was kind of lame to me, to be honest. Is that, first of all, a guy he's retired and, he's doing a podcast or whatever, talking about football players or whatever. And, not even trying to be petty, but this guy he was team hopping to get a ring. Like, he went to 2 different teams to try to get a ring, and he contributed nothing to those teams. He was sitting on the bench, who is he to talk about somebody saying they're trash? And we all know Kyler's not trash. And based on how he was speaking, saying he holds the ball too long, he doesn't even read defenses. He hasn't watched Kyler. You can tell all he has done is watch Kyler's highlights where he's running around and saying that's how he plays all the time. And that's not true. And anyways, most of the times he's running around like that. Why is it? Because his O-line is breaking down. So what is he going to do? Just stand there and take the sack? Right? So stuff like that is lame to me because you're going to use your platform instead of to build somebody up or give constructive criticism. You just want to say, oh, they're trash. They're trash. Right? And funny thing is, last year he said he loves Zach Ertz coming to the Cardinals because they have an explosive quarterback. Now, why did he change up? Right?
True.
So
yeah, true.
Stuff like that, I don't even pay mind to that. But it's something I just keep seeing, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, everybody just saying Cliff's play calling, Cliff's play calling, Cliff's play calling. That's all I see, and it's like, has anybody turned on the tape? Anyone? Because I have, some people else have, and you will see it's not just Cliff's play calling. The offensive. I want to just give an example for everybody in the chat and whoever hasn't really turned on the tape for the Raiders game. Right, the Raiders game, we scored 0 in the first half. We had 3 offensive drives in the first half. I want to break it down real quick. The first drive, we ran the ball, got the second down. Second down, Kelvin Beachum gets smoked, sacked, 3rd and long. Cliff can't do anything about that. He can't play right tackle, right? So that drive is stalled. I mean, 3rd and long, most of the times you're not going to get it. Especially we don't even have Hopkins. It's Hollywood's like 2nd game, 3rd game, whatever you want to call it, 2nd game, whatever. Like, all right, next drive happens. We run the ball. 2nd down again. We try to help Beachum with Max Williams. Max Williams gets ran over. Kyler has to throw the ball away, and it gets intentional grounding. Now it's 3rd and long again. Cliff can't. If Cliff can play right tackle, then sure, let's blame that on him. But that's another drive that stalls out. Then the last drive where Kyler throws that interception, Hollywood Brown is wide open for a touchdown. That's a beautiful play call. He's wide open. But guess who gets beat? Kelvin Beachum. Kyler Murray has to roll out the pocket. Hollywood Brown stops his route to try to come back, and then the timing is off, and Kyler throws it intercepted. That was all the drives, right? So if you've seen those 3 things that happened that caused 3rd and long each time, you're gonna tell me that's Cliff's play calling? Like I feel like people need to, instead of just repeating Cliff's play calling, at least turn on the tape to see, is it really Cliff's play calling? Because last time against LA, Trey McBride was wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Kyler didn't even look his way. Right? And you could say, oh, that's coaching. But it's year 4. He was a number 1 draft pick. And I love Kyler Murray. You know this. Everybody knows this. But at the end of the day, I'm going to call it like I see it. And if he's not making better reads, and like you said on the third and shorts, right? I know we're all upset about those because it's deep ball. But you could go back and watch the LA tape. Hollywood Brown, the corner is 10 yards off him, and he's wide open. Why is he not making that decision as a year 4 quarterback, reading the defense, saying, look, that guy's wide open. I'm not throwing this fade to AJ. Cliff Kingsbury can't throw the ball for him. So I feel like that Cliff absolutely has things to work on. There's no doubt about it. His clock management is beyond horrendous. We all saw it, and we've been seeing it. So I'm not here saying Cliff is not an issue. But at the end of the day, it's not just him. Can he catch the ball? We're like 3rd in the league in drops. Can he catch the ball too? I don't know. Like, so there's multiple things that's going on right now. And Cliff Kingsbury absolutely is an issue sometimes. And mostly it's clock management. That's a huge issue. But Kyler has been making a lot of misreads, and guys have been open. You can turn on the tape yourself. And guys have been open. He's been missing them. The O-line's been breaking down. It's just like everybody's not executing. You need everyone to execute, right? Starting with the O-line. The wide receivers got to get open. Quarterbacks have to hit the guys that are open. It's just like one level just keeps breaking down, on any different play. So it's like we just need all of them. And you could say that's coaching, and maybe it is, right? Like everything's not gelling at once. But to put it all on Cliff when the players are not executing what they're paid to do, Cliff can't teach them how to block. He can't teach a wide receiver how to catch the ball. They made the NFL because they know how to do these things. He just got to put them in position to do it. And for the most part, he has, if you turn on the tape. But they're just not making the plays. So that's just how I see it.
Cool. No, that's fair. No, that's absolutely fair. So do you think the roster that was put together, because obviously Beachum has been here for years, man, right? And then we got Will Hernandez. That
Kime, you just gotta call it like it is. Like you made the video of the last 3 years. How many guys are actually starting for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
That we drafted.
Yeah.
Right. Cliff Kingsbury right now. What our tallest wide receiver is Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown is our tallest wide receiver right now. Andy Isabella might be our wide receiver 2 this weekend.
Yeah.
Right? The offensive line has been a joke since forever. And and Kime has said, you know what? Let me just get a dude that makes $2 million instead of, you know what? Let me not draft 2 linebackers. I mean, I like Zaven. I like the Isaiah Simmons, but at the end of the day, you need to build. This is the first time we've ever drafted a franchise quarterback, and we decided not to build him in O-line. Does that make sense?
No, I agree with that. Sorry, voice almost went out. I do agree with what you're saying for sure. I think it's the whole offense is just not gelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's so different because I don't know. Obviously, everybody thinks differently. Like to me, if I would know, as a head coach, right, the person who's doing the offense to be like, hey, my offensive line sucks, right? They're Swiss cheese. I would do different formations and, maybe have more blocking, but that's the thing too. We're not changing to the personnel that we have.
That's where the screens come in because the offensive line is so bad. That's why Cliff is going to run 1 million screens because they can't block for one person to run 10 yards. By the time he gets open, Kyler's already about to get sacked. So
do you agree with
just a fine line of this?
Yeah. Do you agree with the media guy said 5'4" players blocking
I mean,
safety?
I agree to a point. Like,
Yeah.
should they be blocking as much as they are? Probably not.
Probably
But at
not.
the end
Yeah.
of the day, like, the scheme is what it is. Air raid,
Uh-huh.
anybody can look up air raid, and it's stretching the field horizontally. So they're gonna run screens a lot, but maybe they should be blocking as much as they do. But
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Thank you so very much for talking because it helped. Later, man. Peace out. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we got a lot, right? We got a lot of, obviously Cardinal fans are frustrated right now. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. Cardinal fans are frustrated with what we're seeing on the field, whether it's all on Cliff, whether it's not. The way that the NFL works is we have to blame somebody, right? We can't fire the whole 53-man roster. I mean, technically we can, but like we won't, right? That's the thing, we won't. And it's much easier to blame a head coach. It is. I mean, right? But the natural inkling, that the natural thing to do is offense isn't working. You blame the offensive coordinator and the head coach if he's an offensive minded player, right? If the defense isn't working, you're blaming the defensive coordinator or the head coach if he's a defensive mind. And I think that's just kind of the way that it is. I don't think, well, I mean, they should, right? NFL teams should be doing things when you deep dive and really figure out what's going on. But there's a lot of problems with this Arizona Cardinal team. It is, right? I do agree to an extent with Kyler Murray. Why the heck are you throwing the ball deep on a 3rd and 2? Why? And he said, I like the coverage. It's AJ Green versus Jalen Ramsey. What do you like about that? Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you not like about that? Yeah. So, I mean, Kyler Murray does have some blame too, as well. He does, absolutely does. It's crazy to me, right? And I think one thing that we've talked about a lot on this channel was like, especially in the beginning, where Kyler Murray was just, I don't know if I would get along with Kyler. Like, I don't know if I would. Like, his personality seems very to himselfish, like to himself, not selfish, but like to himself. And I'm not sure if I would to get to know him in person, if I would even get along with him, just because I don't really know who he is in general, right? I don't, like, even to the day he's been our quarterback for 4 years. Don't really know very much of him at all. Bottom line is we want to win. It's easier just to blame the head coach and the offensive coordinator if we had one, because our offense isn't working. So we need to figure out some sort of situation here with this offense, man. We really do. This team with the Panthers coming through, this is a winnable team. It is. And it sucks, right? Like we're in no position, right? Cardinal fans, we're in no position to say this is a winnable team. Like we aren't. But this should be a winnable team. And I want to get to a level where when we see the Panthers, we're like, that's a winnable game. But we just can't. There's some teams that we just can't beat when we should be beating them. The Panthers, the Lions. Why do we struggle with those teams? It's absolutely nuts. So I know a lot of people wanted me to choose people wanted me to choose the Cardinals over the Panthers, but I can't. Unless the Cardinals can prove that they can win, I can't choose the Cardinals over the Panthers because the Panthers has had our number for years. Years. The last time we beat them was 2013. So final thoughts is this organization, if we don't get this win this week, it's not the end by any sense of the imagination. It isn't. But it's definitely not a good start to the season. Now, I know a lot of people are holding their hope and holding their breath that DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. We're going to start getting a little healthier. To me, that's all an excuse. It really is. But I would only hope that we can finish strong, right? We're going to have over 11 games left, right? 6, 7. No, we'll have 11 games left when Hopkins comes back. So, hey, maybe we might run the table. I doubt that's going to happen, but we might. But I don't get like why this offense isn't working without DeAndre Hopkins. It's nuts. It absolutely is. Kyler Murray needs to run the ball. One thing that I brought up last week, I'm sorry, not last week. It was yesterday or the day before. I ended up doing a stream talking about the Cardinals and Panthers game, was this crazy stat that I had right here. The Cardinals' record when Kyler Murray has 10 plus rushes, they're 9-1. When he has 5 to 9 rushes, they're 14-14. When they're 0-4 rushes, they are 0-11-1. This stat right here is absolutely baffling. It's baffling. I do believe the Arizona Cardinals need to get Kyler Murray involved. Now, it's scary. It is, right? We saw what ended up happening to Tua Tagovailoa. Now, obviously, he wasn't running. He ended up getting hurt when he probably shouldn't be playing in that game. And we don't want that for our quarterback. We don't at all. But we got to do something. Something needs to give. Something needs to give on this offense. We need to start off hot. And I'm not sure if these next 2 weeks is going to be kind to this Arizona Cardinal team. Yeah, I don't think these next 2 weeks are going to be kind. The Panthers and then the Eagles. I'm not sure how that's going to shake out, ladies and gentlemen, but I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you so very much for coming through. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks everybody for joining in, all the callers, everybody that's been sticking around for the entirety of the stream. If you guys haven't yet already, do me this huge favor, smack the like button on this video. It helps the channel grow out tremendously. Smack it up. Let's see if we can get over to plus 50 on the like count. Smack it up. Smack it up. Helps the channel grow out. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you, as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.